Hello, Aries. Welcome to your weekly reading. I am back. I hope you guys have been doing well. I hope that this new year has been good to you so far. But this is going to be for the week of the 16th, going to the 22nd of January. So let's have a little look together and see what's going on for you guys, okay? As always, I'm going to shuffle the cards first. And whilst I'm doing that, feel free to subscribe. Feel like I never say it in my videos, but I'm going to start saying it now. All right, for Aries, like the word command immediately came into my head here, and it's such an Aries thing. You guys could definitely be like stepping up into a leadership position, or you could be really advised at this time to start delegating, to start commanding, to like I'm feeling like you're having to like become someone who you want to be, but like you're having to do the difficult tasks first, which is interesting. So maybe being a leader is naturally who you're supposed to be. You're quite good at it, but maybe you're having to get rid of certain blockages of being able to lead or being able to command, or the fears that might be involved in that, like imposter syndrome is a big one. But anyways, command. All right, anyways, I'm going to carry on pulling the cards and see what's going on for you guys, okay? All right, for Aries, current energy for the week. I don't know why I'm seeing Ariana Grande. Random, but yeah. It's not, yeah. Not a bad visual to have in my mind. Anyway. Okay. All right, blockages for the week, please, for Aries. Okay, interesting. It has a lot to do with your mind. Maybe there's been some criticism, or maybe you feel watched by people. That could definitely be the case here. And whatever it is that you're doing, there could be like an underlying fear of humiliation, being embarrassed. Maybe you're fearing public settings or things like this, or again, you're worried that things aren't going to go the right way, or there is some fears involved with like being mocked here, as you can see in the Nine of Swords. This is internal fears, internal worries. It doesn't literally have to be that people are doing this to you, but there is a fear of, you know, the unknown. I feel like this is more, you're anticipating something that hasn't happened yet. Maybe because of past experiences, these fears can sometimes be traumas, and, you know, a little bit of anxieties about it happening again, or, you know, the past repeating itself. Especially because your blockage is also with the Page of Swords. So Nine of Swords, Page of Swords. Page of Swords, of course, is about being watched. It's about people watching you. All right, and that could be a fear. But your like current thing, and I want to kind of see this as more of like advice for you, is the Page of Pentacles and the Temperance, and both of these are very slow, sensual cards. So I kind of feel like don't worry about the people around you, Aries, and whatever it is that you're doing. Do what makes you feel good, because you're good at it. Like, be slow and steady within this week, which is very interesting to see coming through. Random message for someone who you might resonate with. But anyways, I'm going to move away from that. But it's just saying here to just balance yourself, and when you're doing something, make sure you're focusing on what it is that you're doing and not everything else around you, because sometimes that is what creates the worst case scenarios, because we're kind of manifesting it in without realizing, because we're thinking and assuming the worst. Try block out those thoughts. For those who are dealing with like public speaking, or again being in front of like a crowd, one thing I remember doing, you can skip this part if you don't want to hear like a little bit of a story of mine. Never really do it, so don't complain, but you can skip forward. You have the freedom to do that. But when I was kind of like in a self-development mode in my last job, I was a hairdresser, actually. Fun fact, Aries, before I decided to do YouTube, I was very shy, and I knew that about myself, and I knew I wanted to change that about myself. So my manager was making a PowerPoint, and I was making a PowerPoint for my manager, and she was there, and I knew I would not regret this, but I knew it was something my internal body was like, no, we're not gonna ask this question, because I do have also social anxiety in it. Again, it's something I wanted to come out of though. And so like outside of my mouth, I just say, like outside my mouth, like it just came out my mouth, like, oh, can I do like present one of these slides as well, like can I be a part of the presentation? And of course she said yes, like that's amazing that you've asked. Yeah, of course you can. And like they sent me the PowerPoint over, and like inside I had these fears of what the hell are you doing, Zata? Like this is so crazy. You're gonna go up there and you're gonna be shaking, you're not even gonna do it properly. Like of course these fears come through. And but the lesson behind it is like these are just fears. What's happening is your body isn't used to something, and if you're like me, Aries, then what's happening is like because you can't predict what's going to happen, like you can't see it in your mind, you've never done it before, your body's kind of like panicking, and it's telling you and convincing you not to do something that actually is going to be very beneficial to you. And the ending of the story really is the fact that I I stood up. Can I tell you the beginning moments though? Because like when the presentation was being done, my manager was like, no one knew I was going to speak. And I didn't tell anyone because I didn't want to give myself that, oh, you're really going to do that? Like, I didn't want to hear external opinions. It's something I knew I felt I needed to do. And I thought really deep down, I think my soul was having a bit of fun with me, but my physical body was like, no, why would you decide to do it? But I was like, I'm not listening to that. This is going to be good. And I'm anticipating, like, when is it going to be? You're going to mess up your words. What are you even going to say? And in my head, I'm like, okay, think about what you're going to say. And I was like, no, when I get up there, I know what I need to do. And when I get up there, I'm going to go with the flow of it. And be in the moment, you know, and kind of just improvise, because sometimes that's what it's about. Like, you can't just read it in a script in your head. And you can't just read off of the board that's there. Like, anyways, sorry, Aries, your reading's going to be long, but I will give you the rest of the cards in a second, but it's beneficial to you, I promise, and I will summarize why I'm saying this in a second. So I blocked out those thoughts. I didn't even repeat what I was going to say, didn't even rehearse it in my mind moments before. And when my name came up and like, oh, okay, like, I'm going to do the next slide. And Zeta's going to come up and she's going to speak. Everyone was kind of like, what? Like, so strange. And I went up there and like I did it, and I think one part of it, like I was using my hands to talk, and like I remember seeing them shaking, and I kind of just like closed them down and just held them tight and just carried on speaking. And everyone was like, wow, you were so confident up there, and like you were actually the best speaker out of all of them, like you were even better than the manager, like, and stuff. Like even the boss said it too, like, oh, you did really well. I think you was actually one of the best ones doing the speaking. I interacted with the people I was speaking to, and afterwards I was like, that was really fun. Like, I'm really glad I did that, and put myself in that position, because if you don't ask, maybe it's about commanding for this here, Aries. So one thing I'm going to say, the reason why I'm sharing this is because your mind is going to talk you out of things, especially if you suffer with social anxiety, or if you suffer with anxiety, or if you suffer with, you know, like not feeling good enough to do something. Again, imposter syndrome is a very big thing for everyone, or a fear of success sometimes. Like if you're coming outside your comfort zone, and I do see that this is being the case for you, we're having to really kind of filter out the thoughts that are trying to convince you not to do something that you internally feel like you need to do, and just embrace it. Go with the flow of it. Be in the flow of what it is that you feel called to do, and you will find solutions in the middle of it, even if things go wrong. Don't allow your like certain parts of your brain to convince you, like fearful parts of your brain, to convince you not to do something that actually is beneficial to your self-development and your character. So it was very good. You might actually surprise yourself like I did, and actually be incredible, especially if you are surrounded by other people and maybe you're up against other people. This could be to do with interviews, this could be to do with like certain tests that you're doing, or you know, it feels something big, not gonna lie. And there is some worries about it, but Aries, I'm just here to say that everything's going to be fine. And if you listen to my story, or if you understand and you have also been in a similar position, it's just reminding you of the fact that really amazing things can happen. So remove negative thinking, negative thoughts. Okay, that's one thing I want to say, because that is being a blockage, as I was talking about earlier. Your fears and worries can really get the best of you sometimes, because they feel real. And again, if it's like past events repeating itself in your mind, trying to convince you not to do something, then again, try push past. The only way to overcome fear is having faith in yourself and in what it is that you're doing. And there is actually a quote saying that fear is just faith, but in the bad things that are going to happen. So you have faith, just make sure it's in the right things. So anyways, I see financially you're going to be doing really well, and career-wise you're going to do well, and if it's not those things, then just within yourself you're going to do well, because you are showing up as the Queen of Pentacles. This is a very luxurious energy coming through, so you might actually be receiving a gift when you do something outside your comfort zone, by the way, or you should definitely gift yourself if no one else is giving it to you, because I see something really amazing happening for you there if you're pushing yourself. We have the Not For You card coming through, and I just want to see what this is. I feel like for a lot of you, this probably is the fears. It's about no longer listening to things that aren't serving you. It's no longer having those things in your life that don't serve you. Some of you may have recently been through a breakup or a falling out with somebody, because a lot of the time this card is about leaving something, deciding that this is not the right path, this is not the right way to go about things, this is not the right thing for me. In this way, it does feel like it's the negative thinking as well, which is the first time I'm actually seeing that with this card. So take it as it resonates. After this Not For You energy, we have the Serendipity, which is very similar to what I was saying with the story about going with the flow. This is like being in the right place at the right time, and something unexpected but very lucky seems to happen. And we have this like, I'm kind of seeing a lot of opportunities are surrounding you here, and there's one that's going to feel really right for you, and the serendipity is like, just go with it, don't worry. This is a card of free will as well, so for some of you, you are being pulled out of something that's not for you and into something that is, and I'm going to explain why in a second. These cards come to life for me, Aries, and what I'm seeing here is that the storyline behind this card for me is that this lady is just standing there, and like all of a sudden this 4-leaf clover, aka luck, a great opportunity, something very fortunate, kind of comes in and is like, you know, being pushed by the wind, you know, it's flying past, and she knows it's lucky, she knows it's gonna go somewhere really amazing, so she just grabs it. Now she doesn't have any safety around her, okay? There isn't like a harness like holding her up in case she lets go. This is purely holding on to faith in an opportunity that is coming away, but you have free will. Some people will just let this pass by and be like, it's too scary to see where that's going to take me. It's scary to take that opportunity. And for some of you, this could be a meeting with somebody, like a physical meeting, maybe in a workplace. Maybe this is asking for a pay. I don't know. This is completely outside your comfort zone. It's something that's going to lead you into something good, and you feel it, but it's up to you whether you take it or not. This is like a leap of faith, kind of like a full card energy of, are you going to go for it, or are you just going to stay in the same place knowing that this isn't right for me? So then after the serendipity, where she's being elevated by this lovely opportunity, the next card you have is Imagine, which is a card of judgment. This is the judgment card for me, which means truth, clarity. This is Ascension, okay, to a new stage, a new chapter of your life. And if you think about it, like, yeah, it's like moving to the next stage. So Aries, if you take this opportunity this week and you really understand what's not for you and what is for you, especially negative thinking is not going to be your best friend at this time, and I would say to try your best to avoid and filter that out. It's not easy. As I said, if you listen to the story that I just shared, then one thing you have to understand is that they're not always there for you to listen to. Sometimes they just arise because that's your conditioning, especially if it's something that's always happened, you've always listened to the fears, then it is going to still be there, but you give it volume. And if it's on high volume because before you used to listen to it, then of course it's going to be high volume now. If you just tone down the volume and turn back up the volume, that I feel called towards doing this and I know it's going to be good for me. But yeah, it's a big challenge for me. This is not easy. This requires a lot of faith in yourself and your ability to hold on to whatever this is, or your ability to work for whatever this is, or your ability to push through what seems to be a boundary, like a barrier, sorry. You're elevating to the next level. This is growth. This is elevation. You're ascending onto the next level of your life. If you choose, this is a very big free will reading for you, because serendipity seems to be the big thing behind this. If you take this opportunity or not. All right. So Imagine is also imagining the next stage. You create your reality, Aries, and this is something really important to understand is, of course, things will happen and things outside of our control happen, but we get to decide and dictate why, like how we react that way, sorry, and what we're going to do moving forward. Not why, but we can understand why. All right. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have new life. So there you go. Aries, a new life is waiting for you. Are you going to take this leap of faith? I want to see what this is. Hey, my lovelies, but before I do, on the bottom of the deck of the tarot, we also have the Empress. So this is about understanding your self-worth. Sometimes we will stay with comfort zones. Sometimes we'll stay with things that we know deep down aren't really right for us. But because we don't believe we can get better, we stay put. But the Empress coming through in this week is really saying to you, you know you are deserving of better. You are the Empress. Sometimes we're just not giving ourselves that credit or introducing ourselves as such if we don't believe in it really. And again, that's where imposter syndrome comes in. This is about living up to the expectation that you set yourself deep down and not fearing what other people think, not fearing if you fail, not fearing if things don't go. If it doesn't go the right way, then you just end up where you are. You end up where you were. Okay? But it's like this actually has a big percentage and possibility of taking you somewhere incredible, and it's almost guaranteed for you. But it's about whether you can remove those fears, remove that feeling. And even if people do ridicule you, or people do, talk behind your back about it, or, if it is embarrassing for you, then those feelings pass. They do pass eventually. Okay, anyway, some advice please for Aries. Two of Swords is a decision to make, a very big one indeed. When it is towards the sun, it's towards something that's going to make you very happy. The sun card is the most positive card in the deck, so it brings very good results. It brings growth. If you think about it, the sun is all about growth here as well. We have these sunflowers that are facing the sun too, so it's about looking at the positive side of things. Okay, and this Two of Swords is like the decision that you have is about whether you want to achieve the sun or not, and leave something behind. The Not For You card coming through again. The Ten of Swords here is like an ending to an old chapter, like maybe an old part of yourself, or maybe if you end something here, then yeah, maybe you cannot go back to it. But if you know it's not for you, then why would you want to go back to it even if something else does fail? Like it's about removing a comfort zone, definitely, whether that's a person, whether that comfort zone is a home, a place, a workplace, a way of being. This Ten of Swords is an ending to that, and it's an ending that needs to happen. This is not a good situation to be in anyways, because there's 10 swords, right? So you're really done with the situation. We have the Ace of Cups coming through here as well, which is about self-love. So I think you're finally giving yourself the truth. You're finally looking at the truth. You're finally understanding something here. And now you have the choice of choosing better. With the Two of Swords. Now you're in a position of where you can attain better. But if we're up in our mind wanting something from the past, for some of you that's not for you, is like maybe something already has ended. That may have been that breakup that was outside of your control. But this happened for a reason, because when the Not For You card comes in, if something was lost in your life, it feels like a big loss, but this is just saying here that there was a game being played, or again, this didn't have your best intentions in mind, or again, there was competition here. It was more about someone was so like interested in winning or getting one up on you or whatever, or again, there was just like there was a game being played that Spirit didn't want you to play. Okay. There was a way of this, was how this was going to unfold was not right for who Spirit wants you to be, and how maybe you want yourself to be deep down. It wasn't aligned to your goals. It wasn't aligned to something here. So maybe this had to happen so that you can be in a position to just take this leap of faith. Maybe because you would have put someone else's interest before your own when this opportunity did come. So what you're going to start seeing here is a truth is unfolding about why something had to happen. It does feel like most likely is an ending, so it can put you in a position to make choices for yourself. Literally, choices for yourself. But we have to make sure we're not blindfolded and blocked off to happiness, or this amazing new thing that seems to be coming through for you. So, Queen of Pentacles and the Temperance, taking it nice, like being in the present moment, it seems to be a really good thing for you. Focusing on your finances, focusing on your career, again, coming outside the comfort zone, growing as a person, being proud of what you've built for yourself already is super important. But yeah, don't let the fears consume you. Don't let the past repeat itself literally in your mind. If someone is watching you, don't worry about their opinions. Alright. This Imagine card. The Imagine card is, I told you every time. is clarified by judgment. I love the universe, honestly. Because this is the truth. You are gaining clarity. Also, it's learning a lesson. Judgment is understanding why something had to happen, understanding the old past so you can go into the new path. When one door closes, another one opens, but you're understanding now why that closed, so you can understand just how much of an opportunity you're about to walk into. This next stage of your life is going to be very, very good for you. Some of you could find new love, because we do have the Lovers, we do have the Emperor here, we also have the Ten of Pentacles here. Some of you are going to be starting your own company or definitely doing very well in the corporate world, by the way. Ten of Pentacles is like very, very good stability in terms of your finances. The Lovers is a choice. All right, but this for some of you is a love interest. If one thing didn't work out, it's because you're going into something new with a new love interest, because you're learning to love yourself now, and you maybe are understanding now why the old relationship had to end. But this feels like a long-term partnership. This is someone you're going to spend the rest of your life with. Okay, so you're understanding the pain, you're understanding the hurt. Some of you may have been in a relationship that was very similar, or like you know how they say that your relationship with your parents really reflects your relationship with a special someone in your life. I think you're understanding that. Maybe the last relationship was very much like that. King of Wands may have been with another fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Okay. This may have been a very unserious or just very not as serious as you wanted it to be kind of relationship. I'm not quite sure exactly what. King of Wands has a reputation for, being a little bit of a flirtatious character, even when they're in a commitment, so just be aware of that. But you would know about this because it feels like this has already ended, so it's what it is. Aries. But judgment, truth, clarity, every little bit of answer that you needed in it for a last relationship or why something ended. It doesn't have to be relationship, but because I was on that topic, I just brought it up. But in general, why something had to end, it was not an attack against you. It was clearing the way for something incredible to happen. So this new life is coming through. This judgment is coming through. This truth, this clarity. Your fears will be cleared up. You're gaining more details on why things happened. It's going to present you a choice to jump into the sunshine. Maybe for some of you, this is traveling, living somewhere else. Okay? But the sun is positive things. It's growth. It's happiness, it's joy, celebration, success, recognition, jumping into the good things. But Aries, let me pull you an animal spirit card. Squirrel spirit, believe in yourself. Well done, good. Isn't that amazing? This is exactly what we've been speaking about, removing that imposter syndrome. Now, the squirrel, if you think about it, the acorns usually kind of buries deep and comes back to it later. I feel like this is again you're reaping rewards that you've sown ages ago. I feel like for some of you, you're going to be receiving blessings that you may have missed back then, but they're coming now. I kind of feel like for some of you, you could be actually getting a lot in your savings. I don't know, that's so random. But yeah, I kind of feel like if you were saving something for later, it's coming back in again. This could be an idea or anything like that. But I kind of feel like this is just about getting an abundance. 3 acorns and a big acorns for the squirrel is quite a good thing for him. So I feel like you're getting some blessings. All right, you just have to believe in yourself to be able to attain that. Okay? My lovely angels, I love you guys. I wish you the best. Probably a long reading. I apologize, but I hope it was helpful in some way. I don't really share a lot of stories about myself, but I felt like it was relevant for this and an interesting one to share. You guys don't really hear a lot about my life, so there you go. I love you guys. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Personal readings are also actually open and linked down below. I've recreate the website, so there are new services on there, a lot more of a range for you to choose from, and or you can just check it out if you wish, but that's linked down below. But aside from that, I love you guys. I wish you all the best, and I will see you guys next time, okay?